From formation to taxation, covering inflation, temptation, high expectations, and that dreaded stagnation, we bring to you Hip Nation.
It's still hard. It's still hard.
Right. Do the two of you find that being a creative allows you to be a little more proud of it?
Maybe. I don't know.
We've got a rainbow on the door.
If you were a lawyer or like a dentist, could you be as proud of it as you are being a creative?
Yeah.
Nothing against lawyers or dentists. Love the lawyers and dentists. Let's make that clear.
No, I think, Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily being a creative, but I think it's being your own, working for yourself and being able to make your own rules.
Yeah.
So not necessarily being a creative, but just being able to like make your own rules and say like, this is what's acceptable here in our workplace. And if you want to be with us, then you're going to have to accept who we are as people, whether like, as opposed to like working for, like I worked for a business for 10 years and didn't feel like, it was something I could come out and say. Yeah, because it was supposed to be private.
So, because what did you just call yourself? 100-miler?
100-footer.
100-footer.
Yeah, no, I don't know if 100 miles away you could tell I was gay, but definitely from 100 feet away.
Right. It's kind of like your style is like tomboyish, right? Which I totally identify with that. Yeah, chapstick.
I'm a chapstick lesbian, and Lucy's more of a lipstick.
I'm a lipstick.
I'm a blistick.
And you're a blistick.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you weren't a creative, being a photographer and being a tattoo artist and all the things that you do, and you were, say, in a more professional setting, you couldn't dress that way. Right. And you couldn't have that style that tells who people, like that you're proud of who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
So being that you are a creative, you can express yourself differently than 100%. Other professions can.
Yeah, definitely. Same time.
In sync stuff down up in here.
Too long. Being together. Way
too long.
I
think we should go on a break.
Yeah, I'm good for that. I'm down.
Create our own identities instead of just being juicy all the time.
That's right.
Like to just be Jenny.
It's #juicy for life.
Yeah.
Oh God.
For life. LYFE.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. No.
Juicy for life.
You should get license plate on your car as you drive off in the sunset. #juicy.
Do you want a monobrow? Like, because I'm all about that. Is that what you want?
How dare you? I always think of like Bert and Ernie when people say monobrow,
God,
like
Bert
straight across.
There you go.
Frick.
It's coming at you.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that there's? I keep saying you guys now. I have this complex about saying you guys.
Yeah, please don't call us guys.
Shut up.
Do y'all? How do y'all feel that being a creative in business is different from someone who isn't a creative in business?
Jenny?
Or did we kind of cover that?
We kind of covered that, I think. Yeah. And just that, like, I mean, the job that I used to have, I felt like I felt like I was just squashed all the time. Like I'd come up with idea after idea and was constantly told, we don't have the funding for that. We can't do that. It doesn't look good for our business and what we're doing and what we're trying to promote and blah, blah, blah.
It's the freedom. It's freedom.
Yeah.
Basically.
I love having creative freedom to a certain extent, depending on my clients. But for the most part, I do. And I love that. I wouldn't have it any other way now that I know it this way.
Before Jenny was doing this full time, like I saw that in you though. That was a huge
told me that
thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
the first time I ever came to you, you told me that and you didn't even fucking know me.
Yeah. I know, right?
You just opened up to a complete stranger, yet we have communication issues.
In your house.
Whoa, when was she in our house and why didn't I know about that? Let's talk about
doing my makeup.
I did it for the awards ceremony.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was a huge thing because I knew that she had that creative side, but she wasn't putting it to use at all.
Oh God,
like, and it was really frustrating.
I was putting it to use, but to be told all the time.
No, but like, I mean, your
us.
creative skills in terms of like your photography and your tattooing and like your art, your artwork, like you weren't putting it to good use. Like it was not a side thing at that point. It wasn't even a side hustle.
Yeah,
it
good
was
luck
just
using
like
that pen.
It was just like a thing. And I was like, you need to be doing this. You should be doing this as a full-time job. So,
and like, what an absolute joy to be able to do that.
yeah.
I'm
I think
so lucky now that both of my jobs are my creative outlets, because now I just get to just be creative all the freaking time.
But it took a lot for you to get there. Like, I felt like I had to like push you into doing it.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely did. But I needed to know also that I had the security from you to do that. It was basically like if I was working a government job with a pension and benefits and everything for over 8 years, close to 10 almost, with like casual and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's super scary. And Lucy has always been the kind of person who was like, things just work out. Like, she'll quit a job without anything lined up. And I'm always like, it must be uncomfortable to sit there with horseshoes up your ass. I don't think it's
horseshoes though.
Puts
It's
it out to the
confidence.
universe.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. She just fucking does it. She just does it.
But that's that's when the boss side comes in, where I'm like, I don't.
And you said to me, she goes, I will, if what you need is security, then I will pay you to come and work down at the studio, to do the social media, to do the website, and give you the exact same as what you're making now for the company you're working for, right? So I asked for a sugar mama when I was like 18 and I fucking put it out to the universe.
Oh, fuck.
And look what came back to me. But you know what? To this day, the minute that I quit my real job, I say that with huge quotation marks because I look back on it now like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
But I, to this day, have not had to take a wage from Lucy, and I have made more than what I ever did working for that company.
Amazing.
And I'm happy. I'm so much happier. Like, I would come home.
But having that, you needed me to say, here is a paycheck.
Yeah, I need security.
That was a big thing for her.
Like, I plan shit months in advance. I'm a planner.
Whereas I don't. I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm a saver. Like, I definitely save money and I make sure
go pee.
like,
we'll be here.
Jenny has to pee.
She's made the official announcement.
When I just believe in taking some risks, because especially when you own your own business, there's no one else that's going to do that for you. Like,
right, but letting go of financial security is big. Hard.
So I think for us, like I say, I always made sure we had enough savings for a certain amount of time. And in my head, I was like, I can go and work in a bar or a restaurant, worst case scenario, if I needed some extra cash just to pay bills. Like, I wasn't afraid of stepping out of that. I wasn't ready to let my happiness take a back seat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's really powerful.
And in any job, like, Jenny makes it out like I've just quit every job that I've ever had. Like, it's not the way. But like, I've definitely said, like, I'm not doing this anymore. And like, there was only one job that I had here where I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I did. I said, I'm not doing it. I left. And then like 2 days later, I had a job that I was in for like 2 years. And I was just, I guess, lucky. But for me, I was like, no, I have the skills equipped to do this job. They've hired me without the certificates that I needed because they saw something in me. I've just always had that mindset. Honestly, I've always had that mindset where it's like, I'll be able to do it. Like, I'll manage. I'll figure it out.
Confidence. Like, fuck.
I know.
That is so admirable.
I know.
Like,
but then I
wish
traveled the world. Like, and I lived in Australia for 2 years, and I would rock up in a town with $10 in my pocket, and I'd be like, okay, I need somewhere to stay. I need to find a job. Like, I need to pay for gas in my vehicle.
I'm with you.
That's like my worst freaking nightmare.
But then the
too.
next day I had a job, and like, there we go. And I did that like 3 times in my time around Australia. I'd be like, oh my God, I have no money, but here we are.
My dad, I've said this on the show before. It's a quote that my dad says, and I always fuck it up. And then he texts me after he hears the episode, and he's like, actually, it's this.
You're never going to amount to anything.
No, my dad would never say that. But
we have
he does
dads,
correct me when I fuck up his quotes. Not that they're his quotes, by the way, Dad. You didn't invent the fuckers. But anyway. The quote goes something like, desperation is the mother of invention, or desperation begets creativity.
Yeah.
So like when you do walk up to a town with $10 in your pocket, or when you do quit a job that makes you miserable and you don't have another one to go to, guess what? Your brain's going to kick into survival mode.
Yeah. And you do some
and you're going to
amazing
make
things.
shit happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like when I quit my real job in quotations, I was like, I'm going to pursue my business full time. I had no idea how much money I was going to bring in. I had nothing. The only thing that went in my favor was that I had it from home to start with, so I didn't have overheads, but that didn't mean that I had money coming in every day. Like,
right, you still had to pay rent or mortgage.
With my job,
very scary.
with what I do though, I don't, aside from sugaring, I don't have repeat clientele. I have to constantly because brows is not a repeat clientele like that. I'll do your brows and I won't see you for like 2 to 3 years.
The goal is to
sometimes.
not see them again for a while.
Every week I have to be generating X amount of new clients. So sugaring, I have repeat clientele like every week. Dermaplaning, same. Brows, no, it's a whole other ball game. So I have to market myself. I have to put myself out there. It doesn't just come to me. But in the beginning, you're starting a business. You're not really well known in the town. You don't have like a massive client base. People don't know who you are. They don't know what your work is like. You know, like I had to generate those clients. So I quit my job and I was like, okay, now I'm in survival mode. Now I have to find.
You killed it.
Yeah,
you're killing it.
Yeah, but also I'm just gonna add this. I quit my
Hand
job.
up. I get this.
I quit my job.
Yeah, this was
in
fun.
February of the end of February. I left February like 27th, 2020. I opened my studio at home full time March 1st of 2020. On March 17th, I was closed down because COVID hit.
3 months.
So I'd only been running my business for 17 days full time until I had to close it for 3 months. And then I was like, shit.
But what did you do in that time? You did something really, really fucking cool
I
that
did.
got you really well
I
known.
got my creative
makeup
flowing. So I did the 30-day makeup challenge that I did.
To stay relevant.
So
on her social media, you were posting every single day a new makeup look, which the amount of people that would like stop us when we'd go somewhere to like a restaurant or grocery shopping and they were like, I follow you on Instagram and I've seen your makeup
weird
look. It's so fucking weird. It's so weird. It's oh god, it's crazy.
But that
kept you relevant.
Survival mode.
And that got clientele coming in for brows. They saw that they could trust you. Like you had so much confidence as a makeup artist. Look what you can do with your face. What can she do with my face?
But were they allowed to come in? Because
No,
so
it
you were doing that, but it wasn't generating
I was
income.
shut for 3 months. 3 months. So June 1st, March, April, May, June. Yeah, June 1st, I reopened. And when I reopened, I was booked solid for like 2 months in advance. I think I was booked. Because people were like, when are you opening? When are you opening? And I was like, when I can, when I'm allowed to. And then I opened and then everyone that would come in would be like, oh my God, I saw your makeup challenge. It was so fun. Like I was waiting every day for you to post those things. And I was like,
God.
It was
wow,
so cool.
you watched
Go back
it.
and watch it. It's crazy.
She just redid them.
I reposted them all because at the time reels weren't a thing, right? So it was all done on my stories and whatever.
Yeah.
So it wasn't stuff that was saved on my feed, but it was a huge thing at the time. And that was my way of surviving through that, because I was like, I need to stay relevant. I need to know that people know that I'm here because this is it. I don't have anything to fall back on now. Like this is my job. But thankfully I didn't have the overhead to pay for a downtown studio that I have now. Like it was just the mortgage.
But even like freshly coming out of COVID, you still, another example of how she just takes chances and goes for it is like, you would think that having a pandemic that shut down her entire business for 3 months would prevent her from wanting to open a downtown location. But she was like, no, this is what I'm going to do because this, and I was like, why the hell are we going to spend money and have overhead when right now everything's like, why fix it if it's not broken? So everything's going fine right now. But where the location is downtown on Main Street, it's right at a red light, right? So people are stopping and they're looking and you're getting a whole different clientele. You're hitting a different market, and people now, it's like business like fucking doubled with that
Yeah.
even. So it's just gotten busier and busier.
For sure.
Just that audience that you weren't hitting when you were just doing it on social
Well, I
media.
had people, when I opened the studio, I would have people call me and they were like, hey, I saw your article in wherever, like, welcome to town. And I was like, I've actually been here for 2 years at that point with the business. I was like, I've actually been here.
Did you even read the article?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah.
Did you even see my picture on Instagram? Danny DeVito.
I think it's just really important. Like that was a huge thing for me. Just like staying relevant and being creative. But yeah, I have balls. Like I literally just like I'll push my limits. That's the thing. I push my limits.
Let me tell you though, I didn't know you very well when you opened your storefront, and I fucking read that article.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
And then I started like following you because I was still in like my basement office downtown that nobody knew where I was when you did that. But I had it on my radar. I'm like, I need to get like a storefront. And then I saw you get your storefront. You did your ribbon cutting and then read the article. And then you made a post on Instagram like a couple weeks later or something. And you were like, these words will forever like be stuck in my head. You were like, since I opened my store, my sales have doubled and I've had to hire my fiance to come in and help me full time. And I will never forget those words because those were the words that made me be like, all right, I'm doing it.
And you told me that Sarah had said that to you and I didn't know who you were. And I was like, oh, you got a super fan. But that
big time.
It's really, really cool to hear that. You inspire people. Like you inspire me every freaking day with how hard you work, and I see every single night like you're working. It doesn't stop work. It doesn't stop at 3 o'clock. Like you're still doing your shit at 9 o'clock at night. Like that's our quality time together, is sitting on our laptops in the evening watching.
We're trying to get better at
The Bachelor and 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, we have The Bachelor to watch tonight.
No,
anyway.
You were watching it last night without me.
No,
I came
I
downstairs.
watched the first 12 minutes.
That's like a cardinal sin. What's the word?
We have so many shows together. So when she went to England for those 2 weeks and then got COVID and got stuck there for over a month, do you know how many? I was like, what am I going to watch? I can't watch. I can't watch Yellowstone. I can't watch Below Deck. I can't watch 90 Day Fiancé. Any of them because there's several. I did though. I cheated on you. I watched 90 Day Fiancé because
I was like,
people.
Last night I was like, secretly I'll watch it, but then I'll rewatch it again with her.
I've been thinking about doing that with Love Is Blind.
Love Is Blind is such a shit show. I hate it.
Oh my god, I love it. But I definitely went behind your back and I watched 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh my god.
Did you watch Tinder Swindler?
Yes.
Oh, that was a good
what
one.
the fuck? Anyway, side note.
But that's our quality time, is watching shitty TV while we work.
Hell
and,
yeah.
like, be your own business owner.
Hell yeah.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when you own your own business, but it's fun.
But what my point was is I watch how hard you work and I see what you do and you're an inspiration.
Thank you are. Both of you are. Actually.
I couldn't just be her partner and sit there and watch everything she does all the time. And what am I going to do? Fucking sit and crush candies on my phone? Like I got to do something,
guys. That's what she used to do.
I used to. Do you remember when I got a Nintendo one time and she's like, I'm not going to be a Nintendo widow. And I was like, bitch, yes
fucking
you are.
laid the law
I did. I was like, you have this on condition.
Yeah, but have I taken that
Where
Nintendo?
is it now?
Don't even know where it is because like I can't sit idly beside her watching how hard she works.
Yeah.
And not just be inspired, and B, like I have to keep up. I want to keep up, and that I can't just be a piece of shit.
It says a lot about that you were inspired by that rather than being like, oh, she's never giving me any time. Right?
Yeah,
Instead, you were like, that's really fucking awesome that she's doing that.
It was actually like, how can we do something really cool together? And that's where our boudoir photography came in, because Lucy's the makeup artist for the boudoir. And obviously I'm the photographer. And to have the two of us working alongside each other, we actually get along better when we're working together in that scenario than when we're at home. And it's like,
specify in that scenario.
Who's going to clean the fucking litter box or do the dishes? That's when we fight. Well, not fight, but like, I'll just give in and just do it, obviously, because poor me. And
like, when was the last time you cleaned the litter box?
I'm just gonna once in a while, right?
Say that.
Frig off. But when we're shooting, and I'm doing the pictures and Lucy's doing like the posing and the styling and stuff, it's a really cool partnership and just a cool dynamic that we have. together, I think. And
Yeah.
we both shine really well with that.
Again, such an advantage as both of you being creatives in business.
Yeah. And females, like two women working with people who are going to get half naked or fully naked.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a hindrance, but
But we have
works well.
different creative outlooks on things too, and this is another thing that we do. So when we're doing the boudoir shoots, like I've done shoots before in the past, and I know
Lucy was a model at
I
one
wasn't
point.
a model. I've never been a model. Never been a model.
You were
never
with
been
Rankin.
a model.
You were very.
I was
you
okay.
did.
Anyway, so oh my god,
Oh, she's
I was
gonna
not
kill
a
me
model.
When we get home, I'm gonna get the fist.
Not in a good way.
No, same time again. I know you too.
It's the universe.
But I will have a different vision to necessarily what Jenny will have. So she'll be shooting a client and whatever, and then I'll say, just come and look at it from this angle. And then she'll look at me, she'll give me the death stare, like, are you stupid right now? And then I'll go, just humor me. And then she'll take the shot, and then she'll look and she'll be like, oh my god, that is a wicked angle.
I'll give you
That's
a fucking
wicked
death
shot.
stare. Like
You
I
give
can't.
me
I
the,
go cross-eyed
like-
if anything, but I do not.
She gives me the side eye that's like, are you the photographer here or am I? And I'm like, just
Actually,
let me
I
see
do that
this.
a little bit.
Let me show you from a different angle. And then she'll go, that was really good. And I'm like, but that's us like together, like
But I'll
seeing a
acknowledge
different
that.
way.
I'm not going to fight you on it. Like
No, you do.
I've learned now after a couple of years of doing this that like I trust your gut and I trust your eye a little bit.
And like you said before on the imposter syndrome episode, I think you said that, you know, sometimes I'll be editing a photo and I'll be staring at it for fucking hours. And then Lucy will come in and be like, well, why don't you do this? Or why don't you try that? And you'll be like, bitch, like, let me do my job. And then after you're like, okay, but this is someone else's perspective.
Exactly.
And maybe that's what I
and
needed.
she's looking at it from a completely different eye than I am, which is just like just
Yeah.
you know,
When
just
you've
a
been
basic.
staring at something for so long, it doesn't look real anymore, if that makes sense. Like, it looks different.
Yeah.
So, like, you take a step back and come back to it again, even if it's just like 10 minutes later and it looks different. Like, you just have to step away and give it a break and come back. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen quite a few clients whose logos I've designed for them.
Yeah.
And initially they're like, oh, I just love it. Like, that's the one. And I'm like, all right, but this is for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it home, sleep on it.
Do you ever ask your partner for his advice?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you take it with like a grain of salt? Like, are you able to take his advice?
If it's about a logo, very rarely, but he has had some good ideas for sure that I've tried.
Yeah.
If it's just like a layout design that I ask his opinion for, then often
Does
I
he
will.
ever offer it without you asking?
No,
No.
never.
Oh my God, we're about to fight right now.
No more domestics, please.
What's
Next
the next
question,
topic?
please. And moving on.
And moving on.
Just reading my paper right now, and I had to
Moving on.
write down, I have to pee.
If you got to pee, just go
I
pee.
didn't want to
Like,
announce that I had to pee. but
Teacher.
It's just like, when can I go?
Okay.
Child's bladder here.
So we could give people some tips on how to start a business as a creative. And I've written some down that come from the Forbes website, but I don't know if we need to follow those because we've all done it.
Yeah.
Not that we're all like fucking amazing at it yet, or, you know, we're all just a couple years in.
Well,
but
we had looked over this earlier, and I just said, like, a lot of these I can't even relate to. Like, a business plan, I've never even had a business
Right,
plan.
me neither.
Probably
No.
should have. Maybe.
Actually,
don't know.
I did write one because I wanted to apply for
But
a
you've
loan.
had a business
but I
coach, though, haven't you?
rushed through it.
Yeah.
And yes, I have had a business coach.
Yeah. My only business coach is the unsolicited advice that I get from other
Right.
Has it helped you?
my other significant others.
Holy, the face just changed from like a
Fuck.
smile
Apparently,
to like,
your Botox just wore right off.
Did
Has
it
it
help
helped
you? Answer the question.
Gotta love a good Leo with their advice. Yeah, it has helped.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, but did you die?
Exactly, right? Just a little bit inside.
My advice, especially with starting a business, is start now. Don't wait.
Right. And that's a lot easier said than done, though.
It is.
Because not
but-
everybody has mounds of savings
No,
to
but
fall
it's
back
not
on.
always about quitting what you don't do what I did every time, as Jenny says, and just quit a job. You can be starting to work on a business while you are working.
Maybe.
As a side hustle.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because if you're employed
Yeah.
as a lash tech
Yeah.
and the business you want to do is a lash tech, that's
Yeah.
a conflict of interest.
Yes, but you can be gathering information, like
Always be gathering
Always.
information.
and like figuring out how you want to structure your business. What does
Right.
it look like? Like, what does your studio look like? What does your ideal client look like? What do your paperwork look like? Like
You're
all
really
those
good at
kind of things. Like
Goal setting.
it's
Yeah.
all about, like, you don't have to actually be starting that business, but you can start the
You
process
can.
of it. Like,
But then also it's just taking the leap. But like I think there's many reasons why people don't take the leap. A lot of it falls on confidence.
yeah.
But I think I know, especially for me, it was a financial thing. I never had
Yeah.
savings.
Yeah.
I think
Started my
having
business with
savings is-
$0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Like literally $0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like that's just the thing. If I had some savings to put in to train myself in what I'm doing, but I didn't. I just went for it because I was like,
went for it.
I
You
did, but
You
because I did, like, I just knew that I knew that I needed something else.
Yeah.
And like what I was doing was not filling my cup. And I was
Yeah.
like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I hate working for people. I hate working for other people. I don't want to work a 9 to 5. If I want to take Wednesday off and I have to wait for like every Tom, Dick and Harry to hand in their vacation time so that I can take my time off, I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I want to work for myself and I want to be making my own paychecks and bringing in the clients that I want to work with. Like, that was a huge thing for me. I was like, I don't want to deal with these people. Like, why am I dealing with this? Right. So that was my how, I guess, like, or not my
reason
how,
why.
but like my reason why
There's
I
a
wanted
difference
to.
in Canada between how and why.
Why not? Shut up. That was my why as to why I want to start my business. But like, I just jumped into it because that's what I wanted to do. Like, I was ready for it. Was I financially ready for it? Not entirely, no. But because I was doing it,
like, we did not have a lot of money when we first
but
started out.
because
We
I was
did
doing
not.
it from home and I knew that I didn't have like a stupid amount of expenses, and like
Right.
if I had a slow week, it didn't really matter. And like also at the time I was wedding coordinating from home as well. So like I did have a second stream of income, but it wasn't given to me. Like, I knew I was going to get paid for that like a year down the
Let's
line.
just
Right,
talk about
right.
that. It wasn't a year down the line. You started wedding coordinating in 2020.
Yeah, in
when
2019.
in 2019 when COVID hit. So not only was she planning people's weddings, then she had to cancel their weddings. Then she had to replan them.
And
So
of
when
course, they
Lucy
don't
started
pay you to cancel their wedding, right?
So she was doing triple the fucking work. She started this job in 2019, but you don't get paid until the wedding has. Well, you don't get paid in full until the
right.
wedding has actually happened. So
Yeah.
3 years later, she finally gets paid for these. That's like, you have a job for 3 years, you don't get paid until the end of that third year.
That's a
That
whole
was-
other story.
yeah.
But that was like, I enjoyed.
you loved it. You
I
love it.
enjoyed
You
what
love
I was doing.
planning
I
other
was
people's
just
lives.
It just wasn't what I wanted to do in the long run. Like, I knew I wanted to focus on the business, and that when I realized that I definitely was financially stable, I can't say that I'm going to be financially stable for like the next 6 months. I have no idea how many clients I'm going to bring in. I could get no clients for the next month.
That's
I have
the
no
scary
idea.
part,
That's
right?
what scares
And
the
that's
shit
the
out of
thing.
me. That's
But I
our
do
biggest
have
thing, yeah.
savings now, and like I know that like if we were shut down for another like 3-4 months, like I could pay bills and I'd be fine. Like, I'd be okay. But it has taken a while to get to this point. But
You think she'd take me out for dinner a little more often with some of those savings?
Listen,
No.
you need the savings.
I need some chicken
I
wings.
still don't have savings.
no.
It's
But
hard
it's
to-
hard.
yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to be financially secure these days. But I just think like if you can start the ball rolling just by putting pen on paper and
Yeah.
even just like manifesting. Like, I'm a big believer of manifesting. Like, some people laugh at me when I say that. Honestly, like, I'll go on Pinterest and before I even found a space for the studio, I was creating Pinterest boards about what I wanted my studio to look like.
And now it does.
And then I went to HomeSense and bought Home Sense, basically. And I was like,
Our whole lives
I
were
was-
sponsored
I would
by
come
Home Sense. You
home.
should see our house, the studio, everything is
but
just
I would
sponsored by
come
fucking
home
Winners
with
and Home Sense.
stuff, and Jenny would go, "Where's that for?" And I'd be like, "My new studio." And she was like,
We don't
"Where?"
have one.
And I was like, "When I find it."
Yeah.
And it was like,
That
you
goddamn
know-
egg chair.
You know
We
that
had this
egg chair?
giant egg chair. You know the one
Yeah.
down at the studio
was
that
on
everybody
our-
falls asleep in.
That was
It's
on our
fucking-
front deck for
Oh.
like 6 months.
Wow.
Because I hadn't found a studio space. I
you
had
knew you
nowhere
wanted
to
it in
go.
there.
Like I still was, I hadn't even gone to look at any spaces. But I was like, this is what I want my space to look like and what it will look like. And then things just started coming into play.
She does. We do this thing every year. So on New Year's Day, usually around there, we do this thing with my mom, and it's just wants. What is it? Needs, wants, and wishes.
Yeah.
And we each, it's the categories, right? So we each write one down. And in the beginning, I was like, Mom, you're fucking nuts. And Lucy got a little confused, and she took the idea of 3 categories, but she heard the number 3 and wrote 3 in each category.
Oh,
So she
okay.
wrote 3 needs, 3 wishes, and 3 wants.
I had big dreams.
Yeah.
She did.
Fuck yeah.
She fucking hit. When we opened it a year later, so you open them a year later to see what you've achieved, she hit every single one.
Wow.
Every single one. Like if she had told me that she was going to open a studio, she was going to buy a brand new jacked up fucking truck, because I would have
love
been
my
like,
truck.
that's not practical. We can't.
Right,
We're going to
right.
stick with the nice, suitable little SUV Hyundai. We got we call it the Hyundai. I mean,
did.
we've sold it since, but it was
There was a lot of stuff on that list
there was
that
a lot.
I was just
and
throwing
she
it
hit
out there.
every
Yeah.
fucking mark. Every single thing came true for her, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like this bitch is onto something." Keep
It's
her
a big
around, and then I
thing.
started
Keep
doing it.
her around.
But then I did it too, and I mean, we've all done it now. It's a tradition in our home, and every single time you
Yeah.
write it down, and sometimes it's things that are completely you've forgotten about. Like I was like this last year, I said I'm going to be a second shooter on 3 weddings. Like as a second shooter, I shot 4 weddings last year. Even though I
Woo!
hate weddings,
Yeah.
I was there was no second shooter. I was the first shooter. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and that was out of my control. I didn't chase people down to shoot their weddings. They came to me. So you put
Fucking
it
rights
out
they
there
did.
and
Yeah.
it comes back to you, whether it's the universe or it's manifesting, whatever it is. But I follow Lucy's lead on that by like going balls to the wall all the time, and it's freaking cool.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
really cool. Yeah.
It's a good feeling,
It's
hey?
a good feeling. Like
Yeah.
I think
So
it's
start
really
writing
important.
shit down, basically,
Writing stuff
right?
down, but like be in the moment with what you want as well. Like, you know, you have to put it out there, and like I'm not hippy dippy and all that kind of stuff, but this
offense to
to
hippies.
me, I never used to manifest, and I only started doing it over like the last couple of years, and everything I'm putting out there is happening, like everything. And it's like I couldn't have even dreamed of being where I am right now. Like I've been in Canada for coming up 6 years now, and I never thought for a second that one, I'd be marrying a Canadian
Woman.
woman.
Yeah, big old straight.
We bought a house like
Yeah.
coming up 3 years ago now. We both own our own vehicles. We have a downtown studio space, like, and we have like
Which isn't cheap,
which
by the way.
isn't cheap. But all these things I would never have thought. Like I came here and I was just
She's a backpacker.
I was a backpacker. I was serving. I came and worked at Salty's for my
Serving.
first
She
6
was a
I
months.
thought she
Salty's
said I
girl.
was
I banged a
7.
Salty's girl. Let's just put that out
Yeah,
there.
I was a
hey?
Salty's girl for
Got a
like the
Salty's
first
girl.
like 6 months when I came here, and I was like, I'm just gonna come for a summer, and that's gonna be it, because I was a bit of a gypsy. Like I liked to travel and just move around, and like I didn't want to be somewhere permanently. Like I wanted to see other places, but then I was like, no, I think I can make some roots here, and like, and it's just
Go-
been like that.
Special shout out to me
No,
for
not
locking
at all.
that
I'd
one
say,
down.
Not what happened.
I'd say,
Swooped her up before anybody else
damn
could.
right.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, too, she broke both her feet,
I couldn't run,
so she couldn't leave.
Yeah, Lucy.
That
That's
was
actually
thank
what
you,
happened.
universe, for that one. Anyway,
I think another important question to ask yourself if you're thinking about starting a business, especially in a saturated market, is what problem am I solving?
Yeah.
Because when you're in a saturated market, let's just say, for example, a hairstylist.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are so many hairstylists in every town,
Yeah.
not just this town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah,
What do
you
you
have
want
to
to
be
bring?
Makes you
unique.
different.
You
What
have to
problem
bring
are you
something,
solving?
Definitely, and that's another thing when Beauty and the Blade like evolved. I was like, I don't just want to be Brows by Lucy. I don't just want to be
Right.
brows. I want to be where I can incorporate. I want to keep learning a new skill every year, and it's not just like you know, Brows by Lucy that does this, or you know, whatever. Like now it's Beauty and the Blade. It's a whole other brand where now what I want it to be, and it is slowly evolving into that, is a one-stop shop for like so much stuff.
Let's talk about that a little bit more, because I remember what your original vision is to not just pigeonhole yourself into just females.
Yeah.
Do you remember
it was
when we were
big.
planning what the vibe was going to be for the studio?
Yeah.
Is that because you offer scalp micropigmentation,
Yeah.
which is mostly geared towards men,
Yeah.
you didn't want them feeling like they couldn't come into a studio that was geared towards women.
Yeah, I didn't
So
want
the
pink and blah blah
pink
blah,
and white and
yeah.
all that shit, right? Like you didn't.
But also that's not me.
It's not you at all, because like Lucy's favorite color is black.
Fucking
100%
right.
black.
Black is the
Right?
new black.
I know.
But,
Black is
like,
the new black, right?
I
you
think
made it.
it's really important.
You wanted it to be edgy, and you wanted it to
and-
be cool, and
Yeah.
you wanted it to be a place where
Yeah.
guys could come in, and there definitely is some like the female accents and stuff,
Yeah.
but like anybody could walk into that
Yeah,
studio and
it's
feel
very
comfortable.
And I
neutral
do.
feeling.
I have a lot of guys that come through the studio, and none of them feel uncomfortable with where they are. Like I want them to feel, or I just want anyone to feel comfortable when they
Yeah.
walk into the studio. And I think like so many people say like it feels like a one-stop shop, and it
Yeah.
is. Like that's exactly what I want. Like I don't want you to have to go somewhere else for something.
Yeah.
If we can do it all in here, you know.
Yeah.
Like also, like we have certain things that are quite specific niches, you know, that are not in a fully saturated market either. Like
Right.
scar camouflage is not an oversaturated market, especially in Penticton.
Especially in Penticton.
Like scalp micropigmentation is not an oversaturated market, but people don't know a lot about stuff. Like we still have to advertise and get educate people on what stuff it is. But
Absolutely. Like your scalp stuff that you do, the
Yeah.
work that you do is, I don't think it's as well known. People travel
It's
from all over
not.
the world to come and see you to do what you do, but it's not really that well known in Penticton.
yeah,
Like in the Okanagan.
and
what
that's
you do.
the reason I like haven't marketed myself well enough for scalp, because when you see me, people are like, oh, you do brows, and that's great, but I don't want to just be known for brows. Like I don't, that's the thing.
It's
But
too
it's
late.
because of the way that I market
Whoops.
myself, which
Right.
is my fault, but I want to start like picking up other things and showing people that I have other skills, right? So
Something that's really cool about you is that, so I've been teaching kids on Tuesdays how to start their own businesses.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. The
Yeah.
the junior program that you run.
Juniorpreneur, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
So I
awesome.
was just teaching their class last night,
yeah,
and our topic was about what name are you going to pick for
Yeah.
your business.
yeah.
And it's really neat that you inherently knew this
Yeah.
without having to be told.
This
Yeah.
is crazy, yeah.
But I was telling the kids last night that I don't want them picking a name like Jackson's
Yeah.
Lawn Care or
Yeah.
Jackson's Shoveling
Yeah.
or Kristen's
Yeah,
Jewelry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
first of all, nobody's going to remember your business name when you name it
Yeah.
after yourself,
yeah,
period.
yeah.
Right.
Second, if you're just going to list one service, especially something like
Yeah.
cutting grass,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
Jackson's
it.
grass cutting, what are
Yeah.
you going to do in the winter?
Yeah.
Now you're Jackson's grass cutting, but I also shovel,
Yeah.
so that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Right.
So like you inherently knew this, that you didn't
Yeah.
want to be browsed by
I made
Lucy.
fun of her too. I made fun
She
of her.
did,
No,
yeah.
no, she
And
was
my-
right. Sorry, but she
I
was
know,
right.
She loves those words.
It's
do.
true though.
You
it's
were
true.
right. But
I wanted it to have something to do with beauty, because like I definitely did, and I wanted it to be something edgy and
Yeah.
something that people would remember.
Yep.
But just something that didn't just say like brows, right? Like
Yeah.
because you hone in on that
Yep.
and that's it. It's great if you for like SEO and stuff like that, when you've got something that's got that in the title, but also at the same time, like that's not just what I do.
Right.
So like, you know,
And that isn't going to be your only passion for the rest of your life.
Exactly. And it hasn't, like I've scoped out since I've started. I've only been in the industry like 3.5 years, and I've already like I've changed so much.
Yeah.
Like scalp was a huge pivoting point for me,
Yeah.
and sugaring too. Like sugaring might just seem like a small service, but honestly, my repeat clients for that went on my slow months with brows. I'm full with sugaring. Like it's been a huge thing for me to pick up and do. So and then makeup, right? Like I do still do makeup and stuff. Like I just don't do it as much. Like I don't advertise as much because it's not necessarily what I want to be doing all the time. Like I just love doing my other stuff.
The permanent makeup and stuff.
And I should caveat that there is definitely a place for those names where you are naming it after yourself or a last name or a, name it after your grandpa or whatever the situation is. I'm not saying don't ever do it. But I'm just saying like if you're a modern type company.
Well, yeah,
and you
like
want to keep up.
It's completely describes Lucy to a T, like Beauty and the Blade, because she's she's beautiful, but she'll fucking cut you.
But even when you look at the studio,
said the bitch. I'm that bitch.
You're an idiot. But even when you look at the studio, front on, the window, I have 2 different window displays. Yeah. One is more of a beauty and one is more of a blade. Let's say it's more edgy.
Wow,
so
you got
like
a lion. It's a
I have a
beast.
lion. It's lion Leo. Like I'm all about lions and Leo. And that side of it, I wanted to be the blade side, the edgy side, but the one side has got like pampas grass and like nice things, still not like super feminine, but it's got 2 sides to it, and that's the whole thing. That's the vibe that I wanted, was that
even your logo, everything that you've done is 100% you. You've stayed true to who you are and what you want to put out as your brand, and who you want to attract to come in. Which you're so good at that stuff. You're just you teach a fucking course, man. Like you're so good at this stuff.
It's so true. It is. Like as somebody who designs brands for people, like you just inherently know this. You don't need to be taught it.
But I'm self-taught though. Like I've just research, right? Like I've just looked into it. So like I said, I never stop learning.
She's always learning, and that's one thing I've learned. Well, I've learned a few things from her.
But I've
also taught her a couple quick tricks.
And get that notch in the old belt.
You gotta teach them, right?
I'm doing like online courses now though,
all
for
the time.
Branding and marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's been doing a course right now on social media. Like she's never stopping. Yeah. She's not just like looking at other people's social media and going, oh, okay, I want to do that. She's literally taking a course on fucking social media right now, which is like really cool because it's huge. You can make a lot of money by being an influencer.
Yeah, and it's not that that's what I want to be. I just I know that I have more to give. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
just how do you do it? Yeah. Right? You know that what you're capable of. It's just like how do you do it? How do you put that into play?
That's right.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next.
I'm really fascinated by the two of you.
Why?
You're both so inspiring.
Do you want to come for a sleepover?
No, not even a little bit.
I'm
but
so sorry.
I'm always asking if people want to have a sleepover.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Shut up, Jenny.
Anyway.
Moving right along. You sure you don't want a beer, Sarah?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Graveyard of beer overhead.
I know, there's a lot of cans sitting here. Where are we? Are we going for tots after? Like, what's
you want tots? I figured it would be wings that you would want.
I mean, they have wings too, but
it is Wednesday.
I love a good tot.
Anyway,
you got your kid.
Yeah, I can't.
We got
go
our
tonight.
cats. She's got her kid. We've got our cats.
I don't know. I think that's. Those are some. Yeah, we kind of like talked about how to. Some good things to think about when you're honestly, starting.
There's no greater feeling than owning your own business.
Right.
And whether that means that you do it full time or whether you do it as a side hustle, there's no greater feeling than saying that that's your own brand that you have built.
There's the ultimate feeling at the end where you say that you have built this, but then there's those little feelings leading up to it when you get your first business license, when you get your first client, when you get your first paycheck. There's so many really cool things. Even when you pay your first year of taxes, you're just like, I fucking made it through my first year. There's so many milestones that lead up to just being that what you're saying is just being your own business owner. And I think that's really cool. And the fact that you're making every single cent comes back to you or the government, but it's not going to some other employer or somebody else that you're working your ass off for and having to dress the way they want you to or fit into a box or listen to whatever music or do whatever activity they want you to do. You're doing what you want to do. And if it if it succeeds or fails, either
Yeah.
way, it's on you.
And that's
it's
just
really
it.
cool.
Like, some people will succeed and some people will fail, and that's
Can you say
okay.
succeed again?
I don't know what just happened,
You
but
just
it didn't
said
sound.
succeed. You just said succeed.
You know what I
and
meant.
I'm keeping my seed away from you with how aggressive that succeed was.
I said that
succeed.
Shut up. I said that I would rather fail than regret that I didn't try.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's my biggest thing. I've always said I would rather say I wish I hadn't than I wish I had.
Because
Always.
what if I had, okay, for example, if I hadn't have just said that day, I'm done, I'm quitting my job, I would have still been doing what I was doing, which was essentially working 3 jobs. I had no life.
Yeah.
Like, I would work 9 till 3 7 till 3 at a full-time job,
Yeah.
come home, do brows from like 3 till 6, and then I would wedding coordinate from like 6 till bedtime every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't, something's got to give, like something's got to stop here, and I have to focus on one thing, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But like, if I hadn't have done that, like, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, we definitely wouldn't be as financially secure as we are. Like, I know it took like balls to just say, I'm done with
the
everything.
biggest security that you had, you basically said F you to.
Yeah.
And you were able to take that energy and focus it on what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I just think it's important to follow your dreams.
And for me, it's to not be afraid to pivot.
Yeah.
Because I did start my business out of a love for designing.
Yeah.
But very quickly fell in love with entrepreneurship instead.
Right.
Even more so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I still get to do what I love, designing, but it's second base to being an entrepreneur, which is why I started the course for the kids.
Right.
And why I have a subscription box for business owners, and like just everything is about looking for the next opportunity to
And why you have
own
this
a
podcast,
new business and
right?
the podcast.
To
Yeah.
talk to people and just learn from
About
others.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. What about you? What's your advice? Do you have
Yeah,
some?
Jenny, what's your advice?
My advice, oh my God, just fucking follow Lucy and listen to whatever she tells you.
No.
I think just if it scares the shit out of you, it means you should probably do it. And that you're not going to learn anything or grow as a person unless you put yourself out of your comfort zone and do what scares you.
Yeah.
100%. That's...
If
this is a completely different person that you would have talked to a year ago, I would have been like, no fucking way am I going to leave the security of everything.
Yeah.
And when Lucy left her job, her real job, to open the studio full time, I was like, I felt the pressure of having to have the real job and have the pension and have the benefits and to keep us, like, if something happens, we've got my security at least.
Yep.
I never in my life thought that a year after she quit her job and did her thing full time that I would be doing mine. And it was almost to the date.
Yeah.
Well, it was like 2 months later, but it was a year later. And it was just like, holy shit, now it's only up to us. And we have to do it. And
What an exhilarating feeling it is, though,
it still
right?
scares the shit out of me.
It is scary,
but it
yeah.
is. I've learned so much about myself and what I'm capable of in that time. So yeah, do what scares you. I would 100% say if it scares you, you should probably do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it falls back on, like, we're good people trying to make a living in this town,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're a bitch,
Yeah.
or if you have a reputation for ripping people off, or just all the negativity that comes with some humans, you're not going to make it.
No, you
But
have
we're
to be
all good
appreciative.
people.
Yeah. Appreciate what is coming to you and treat every single person like they're fucking paying for your life, for you to live, because they are.
Yep.
Right? I would never want a bad review, and I will work very hard to not have a bad review.
And I think eventually it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bad review.
Yeah.
And you're going to take it personally, especially you.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Yeah. Quit everything
I
and
would
move to
too.
Thailand right now. The one bad review, I'm out of this town.
Yeah. But you know what? It happens, and you are not for everybody.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
cannot
that's just
please
it. You
everybody.
Yeah.
You're never going to please everyone. And also the people that read reviews, also they look through them, right? And just because there's one bad review in there doesn't mean they're not going to come to you as a client.
Right.
Let's just be clear. I haven't had a bad review yet.
No.
Because
No.
I really only have like
But
3
just
reviews.
preparing
But we're
you.
just saying, like, eventually, like,
Oh God, the minute I get a bad review, I'm coming to you. We're gonna have a support group. Please.
Yeah. We'll have a bad review party.
Tacos and tots and talk
Yeah.
about it.
Eat our feelings.
Yeah. Oh God, I love eating
But
my
yeah.
feelings.
Did you have a book reco? Or
My books always, I mean, I think I talked about them before, and I just said that my favorite, the one that inspired me the most was, I thought you were writing something to me. I thought you were writing me a note.
no notes
Green
for you.
Lights by Matthew
yes.
McConaughey
Oh, good
just
one.
definitely taught me that to just keep going. I'm going to keep hitting green lights. The more you hit one, and then you're going to keep hitting more green lights, and just embrace those green lights and keep going because it's happening for a reason. And then Untamed by Glennon Doyle will always be the book that I still blame my friend, really close friend of mine, Neely, who got me hooked on that book. She's been through so much in her life, and she told me about that book, and it changed my life. I listened to that book, and it was amazing, and it's the reason I quit my job. So thanks for that, Neely.
I thought Lucy was the
Yeah.
reason you quit your job.
Is Neely
Well,
the reason?
Neely
You're
really
gonna
pushed
give-
me to
yeah.
read that book. There was a combination of some really strong females in my life. Let's just say that.
That's nice though.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It takes a village to raise this idiot.
Well, we're all a bunch of idiots, aren't we?
Not necessarily, but I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to Gary Vee a lot. Do you listen to him? Like, he's a bit like, you should check him out. He's an inspirational, like,
Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, I can't link a podcast to
Okay.
Amazon, okay? So give me a fucking book.
you know, the book that I've listened to like 3 times now, and you guys are gonna laugh at me, but like, I'm obsessed with it.
Winnie the Pooh.
No, The Secret, but The Secret to Money.
Yeah, she does The Secret to Money, and it fucking works for her.
Like, it's called The Secret to Money though, and like,
there's an app for that too.
I listened to it as an audiobook, and I've listened to it, I kid you not, probably 3 if not 4 times over the last like year. And because it's so ridiculous, but it's so true at the same time. Again, it's the manifesting on side of things. It's the putting it out there to the universe.
So you got me hooked on the Secret
Yeah.
app, the Secret to Money app, and
Yeah.
I thought this was such bullshit. And what pissed me off was that I had to pay like $3 for the app.
Of course.
But I downloaded the app, and my mom did too. And you get daily inspirations. You say things out loud. You put it out there. You do
so
acts of
every day it deposits a fictitious check into your account, right? Like into the money account, right? The secret account. And like, because I've been doing the app for so long, my checks on a daily are like 500,000, right? So I get a check every day of 500,000 in my money app that says I can spend it on whatever I want. And I put in there, I might be like, yeah, I want to spend it on like
a boat,
a
studio,
boat or whatever.
a house.
So I don't do it every day anymore, but I used to. And then you just write like what you've given to someone today, like, oh, I paid for someone's Tim Hortons today.
I do a
like,
lot. Every time I go to
and,
Tim
like-
Hortons, I buy the person behind me coffee, and it comes back to
Yeah.
me like tenfold. It's so
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know about giving to the community and how it comes back, but
Yeah.
those
not
are
that
the
Tim Hortons is giving back to the community.
No, but I do that too.
Yeah.
I don't go to Tim Hortons very often, but when I do, I always pay for the
pay
guy
for the
behind
person
me.
behind, yeah.
yeah.
Mostly because my logo's on the
Yeah.
back
That's
of my
exactly-
car,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I know that sounds vain and like selfish,
No,
but
not
It's a
at
good
all.
move. It's a good move.
Yeah.
but then it gets people talking,
It
right?
does.
Because often when you have, I don't know if you've ever had your coffee paid for, but I have
Yeah.
It's
in the
fucking-
It's a
lineup.
good feeling.
And you're like, you want to go find the person
Yeah.
and thank them.
Yeah.
I do.
But then they, like, if you're
Yeah.
like me, I just
Frigged
fucking
right
leave.
off,
I'm
yeah.
like, don't come thank me.
Yeah.
Just take your
I
coffee
pay
and have
and
a
I
good
just
day.
hit the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this app, like you put in what you've done for other people. You get these checks that you spend.
Yeah,
You
it's just
have daily
it's
affirmations.
just a
where you're-
game, but it kind of feels good because you're like, yeah, I just hit there's 500,000. I
Yeah.
can spend
Just
it
bought
on
a
whatever
boat.
I want, right? And it's just a.
I'm gonna
it's
get
just-
that. I like it.
It is really cool. It's worth
Honestly,
the money
like,
to buy the app.
I was doing it like for about a month, and she had no idea. And then I think one day like a sound went off on my phone, and she was like, "What was that?" I think she thought it was like Tinder or something, and I was like,
Because it was like cha-ching, and I was like, oh,
and she was like, "Never heard that
cha-chinging
sound
you
before."
right now?
And I
I've
was
never
like,
heard that.
It's
That's not
my
your usual.
app. And I was really embarrassed to tell her that that's what I was doing, but I was like, it's just kind of like it's kind of fun because I get to spend money on stuff that in my mind that I'm spending, and then suddenly it just makes you think that you can spend all this money, or like you're getting all this money coming in and you can finally
really
pay
like
for
that.
stuff.
It is
So
really cool.
I started
It's cool.
doing it.
I would have
She
made
got
fun
the
of it.
app.
I did make fun of it in the beginning.
She did.
Yeah,
And
I
then
love it.
her mom came over, and then I was telling her mom about it, and her mom was immediately downloaded it and was like doing it. So every day, because it gives you a notification at like 5 o'clock every day, and every time she would come over, we would all get this sit at 5 o'clock. It would go cha-ching, like everyone would get their check like at whatever time, and it was fun.
Yeah,
But this, honestly, that book, and I don't know if you've ever read any of those. Like, there's The
No.
Secret, but then there's The Secret to Money. Honestly,
Is it the same book, but one's geared towards money?
essentially,
Yeah.
Like it's the same author and all
Yeah.
that shit?
Yeah, it's the same author
it's just
and
like the love
everything.
languages. You've
Yeah.
read that book. Tell
Yeah.
us about what you've learned
No,
about love
different
languages.
podcast. Nothing.
Talk about your love language.
But that, I don't know. I like stuff like that because it makes my mind work a bit more. But
So do you find that having that app and reading that book has made you
it's made
Like-
me think about
save your money more?
not
or
even save my money, just like
spend your money more? You're like, bitch, that wasn't real. Now I want a boat. I'm going to fucking buy a boat.
it
No,
does.
you know
It makes
what
you
it makes me
reevaluate
does?
your goals and your.
It does because
Yeah.
when you say to yourself that I can't afford this, that's what you attract. I should,
It's a law of attraction. 100% though. It is.
I'm laughing at me, Sarah, but it's really true. Like when I thought,
Because when I came to see you for my makeup and you're like, go to that store and get the good lip jazz. And I was like, I can't afford that. And then you're probably like, oh, well, you're just going to attract bad lips then.
that's exactly what I was
Fuck,
thinking.
she's not a Mac girl. She's more of a fucking lip smackers or whatever the fuck.
Bliss.
Blistick.
But
There
I
you
go to stuff now, especially when I'm going like clothes shopping. And this is really bad. Jenny probably would hate me for saying this. I don't look at the price tag anymore. Because I know, but because I don't
She wants me to trust her with the wedding budget.
When I will buy something, you better shut the fuck up right now.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
Sit down. I'm just
When
gonna
I don't want to ever feel like I can't afford something.
so you just don't look at the fucking price tag.
Your bank account will pay for
I'm
it
not
later.
saying that you should do that. I'm saying that's just how I do things now. Unless it's like I know something's going to be really fucking expensive, but I don't. I've stopped looking at the price tags on things because I'm at a point in my business where I feel like I can afford stuff.
Right.
So I don't want to be penny pinching here and there. Like if I want to buy the coat, I'm going to buy the coat. Like if it's $50 or if it's $500. Like I haven't spent that much on it, but like I'm just saying.
Leave the
But
price tag
Just had a
on.
heart palpitation.
But it's a different. That's the thing, and Jenny has this too. She has, what do you call it? When you
I have a lot of
buyer's
things.
remorse when you buy something and then
Yeah.
you feel like you've spent too much, you want to take
Yeah.
it back.
100%.
But then I'm like, it's
Is there
just
such thing as
money. You
partner's
make it
remorse?
every
It's just
day.
stuff.
It's just
Yeah.
money. You make it every day.
that you stole that from my dad.
Exactly.
That's a
Yeah,
Jerry-
that's
It's
okay.
true, though.
He
But
did.
it's true. Like, so yeah, I might have spent $100 on that purse today, but then I might make that tomorrow. I might make double that tomorrow. So
Yeah.
then technically that purse was free. So like,
It's checks and balances, right?
right. So it's just
she's on a different level than I am because I'm like I might not make that for the next
Right.
3 months, and
She's
now I've
got
got a
that
purse that
confidence.
holds no money,
But it's-
because I don't have any
Are
fucking
you
money.
attracting that though?
I know, and I've been trying to follow your lead more.
So, like, I don't have that outlook on things anymore. And that's what drives you nuts, I think, is because I have a very different perspective on that.
And let it you can still do that and then let it make you work harder.
Yeah.
You go buy that
'Cause it
$500
does.
thing and be like, well, now I just got to hustle even harder.
Exactly.
that's
That-
what
get that
which is
experience.
what I did when I
Yeah.
you know what, never in my life did I think, remember when the entire time that I was working for my previous company and had that job security, I would not give up my vehicle and buy a brand new vehicle.
No.
I quit my job and bought a fucking brand new Camaro.
Yeah, you did.
Which was fucking crazy. Like, holy hello.
Because you didn't even really look at the price tag
I
that
didn't.
much. You
I
just
didn't.
said,
I just
I
went
want
for it.
this. I'm going to buy it.
I'm pretty sure you were sitting there going, you can do this. I mean,
Well,
you're
no,
that little
I did.
voice.
I said to you, like, you can afford it because you could afford it. You just were cautious
I
about
know.
having another
Needed
car
to hear it,
payment.
maybe.
It was so weird. It was so weird, but I haven't looked back since. So I need to just keep reminding myself.
I don't
of
know.
that.
Some stuff I'm like, yeah, whatever. But like, I don't know. I've just been following these things, like, you know, for the last kind of couple of years, and whether it's that or whether it's just my energy and whatever. But I've done pretty well from it, so I'm just gonna keep following it.
Well, you do that with the $500 things,
Yeah.
and I do it at the grocery store now.
Yeah.
I could never. I used to always price tag shop at the
Right.
grocery store. Now I don't. Now I just put
It's
it
a
in the
different
cart.
feeling.
Right.
Like, it's a different thing. when
I'm
you
not. I'm not at
feel-
your level yet.
I'm not saying
I'll do
that
it
I
with a
got
$3 item. It's not the $1
I
item.
don't actually go out and buy ridiculous things. I really, really don't. But I don't. If there's something that I want, I buy it.
Yeah.
I just buy it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want it.
I'll work it off.
I'll get home, and then all I'll think about is the thing that I didn't buy. So I'll be like, why did I not just get it? Like, I really
wish
want
I
it.
hadn't, then I wish I had.
Exactly. And now I just need to find some more clients, like, for the next kind of like week or whatever. So you just hustle harder. So
That's just that's next level confidence for sure. Because I'm with you,
Yeah.
Jenny. I'd
Yeah.
be like, well, fuck, like, what if?
Let's go
Yeah.
shopping at the
It's
Balloon
always the
Village
what
together.
if. Yeah.
Well, it is. It is what
Yeah.
if. Like,
Yeah.
what if I just
What
have a
if that-
slow month and
Yeah.
I just made a huge mistake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't take it back. Keep that price tag on.
Yeah. Money's
money's a tough
The
one.
root of all evil.
It
It
really
really
is.
is.
Gross.
It's awful. And some of our biggest arguments are over money because I am quite like I just said, if I want it, I'm going to buy it. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to
Keep up.
keep
I
up.
think that's my big thing, is just feeling like sometimes that I have to keep up to her. And that's my imposter
I don't have
coming
a
in.
spending
Right? Like,
issue,
we
just so you know. Like, I don't have like
sure sound like you do. Just kidding.
I don't. But like, yes, I came home with 5 scatter pillows from Home Sense the other day.
You want to talk what a scatter pillow is?
What the
it
fuck
makes
is a
throw
scatter
pillows
pillow?
that are on our bed
It makes
right
the
now.
bed look very inviting.
You see what I did yesterday
So
with those stupid ass pillows? I didn't even move them. I just laid on top of all of them.
It annoyed the
They
hell
all-
out of me.
They
And
are
this
all
morning you
flattened
didn't.
with my scent. Fuck you and your throw pillows, Lucy.
But I came home. I wanted them. I knew they were going to make the bed look better. I came home with them, and she was like, "Where are you going with them?" And I went, "To the bed."
That's fine.
I put them on the bed, and it looks wonderful now.
And I look like a
felt-
fucking Egyptian goddess on there with my cats.
There you
and
go,
I laid out on
see?
them and fed myself
There
grapes
you
because she didn't
go.
want to talk
So
to
you
me.
felt like a queen
Well, yeah.
from the cushions that I purchased with my own money.
Well, that didn't come out of the joint?
No,
or-
nothing like that ever comes out of the joint account
All right.
anyway.
Moving on. Let's go. Fucking. What's your
Anyway,
favorite song in the,
the
whole world?
secret to
That's what
money.
we should ask.
Ooh.
What's your favorite song? Because fuck books.
Well, I can't
anymore.
make money off songs, but anyway.
Oh, right.
Let's do favorite songs.
What is your
That's
favorite
fun.
song?
Right?
Oh, fuck. Sorry for keeping you awake with
Sorry.
that giant yawn. Tell us how you really feel here, bud.
Favorite song. I think about it.
Better be our fucking wedding song.
Nope. I'm gonna go with the Backstreet Boys song, just because like it's an OG. It's a good one.
So which one? You just said it was a good one. Now which one?
Well, all of them. Actually, The Call. You know, The
Oh,
Call
I
is
know
my
The
favorite
Call.
Backstreet
She
Boys
loves it.
song.
She acts it out like
The
she's
Call?
part.
And it's not
Nobody
even a
ever
well-known
knows The Call.
one. It's
Listen.
It's like all AJ.
I was the BSB #1 fan. And I've
So-
never heard of that song.
Okay, go home and listen to it.
I'm gonna.
One.
All the way
It's
home.
so good. And you got to see a video of Lucy. There's a video out on YouTube actually of us on a road trip singing to different songs. And Lucy gives her on The Call.
Yeah, I do.
We fuck
It's
up
really
every
good.
other word to every other song. It's an old YouTube vid, but I'll
Fish
I'll
it
send
out.
to
Fuck
you.
yeah.
It's funny. It's from back in the good
That's
old
one of my
days.
good ones. Yeah, that I like the old.
She surprised me
old
one
days.
year for Christmas with the Backstreet Boys concert in Vegas. And
just putting it out there, that was our first Christmas together, and I got you tickets to the Backstreet Boys
And to
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
That's wicked.
it was
I
really
set the
cool.
bar
She's
way too
way
high.
too
Way
high.
too high. Yeah.
Fucking thanks for the printer this year.
That was nearly $900.
I know. We're not talking about prices.
Oh.
I know what it was. Anyways.
Again, didn't check the price tag.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song? You know how much I love Cher.
Like, who doesn't love Cher?
So much. I got the dolls, the DVDs, I've got the shirts, I've got everything. So
I knew a gay guy once who called himself Cher. That's how he introduced himself to
Wow.
people because he loved Cher
we
so
saw
much. He was the
the
best.
Cher drag queen and Chad Michaels.
Yeah.
Oh, I just loved him so much.
Give us a song. Give us a song, Jenny.
I would say
Turn Back Time.
and Just Like Jesse
one.
James. I love Just Like
Jesse James. Yeah, good one.
Oh, you're hitting me right in
But-
the feels, man.
Fuck. Journey too.
Yeah.
Like I love Journey so
Yeah.
much. I freaking love Journey.
Yeah, you
Journey's got a
Um,
lot of good tunes that aren't the obvious.
I think my number one though, I'd have to say is
Oh,
Cher After All. I think she does it. She does it with a guy. She's done it with a few different people, but it's After All, and it was from the movie Mermaids, and it's
Is that your wedding song?
No,
No.
fuck.
What is your wedding song?
we have a couple actually, but our actual wedding song
Beautiful.
is going to be Luke Combs' "Beautiful Crazy" because it's kind of
Crazy. It's a little bit of
Yeah,
each
yeah.
one of us.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm the beautiful one.
You're both beautiful.
Oh, frig off. I hate that word.
Also, another one of my favorite songs is "NSYNC." Bye bye bye. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's
Cool.
a good one.
So
I'm just gonna throw it back to like that era. I wish I was back.
I wish
90s
you had a
boy
little more
bands.
depth, but that's okay.
No, I'm good with that.
You go right along with those
I'm the
shit.
fun
What's your
one.
favorite
She's
song?
a bit of a surface.
What is yours?
Stairway to Heaven.
Oh,
For sure. Who's number
Nice.
one.
Can you play the whole thing?
I purposely have not learned the solo, but I can learn the rest. Or
Yeah.
I have played the rest.
Which we talked about.
And I can play it behind my back, by the way.
Shut the frig up.
Or I used to be able to. I don't know if I still could. Yeah, I probably could.
I love you. I want to see this.
And Nothing Else Matters
has-
by Metallica.
Right,
Yeah.
which is on the shirt out there.
Yeah.
Who
So those
has
are
interviewed
tied.
you?
No one. We were going to do it, and then Daryl was like, why do you want to be a guest on your own podcast?
I
It's
would like to
kinda,
interview you.
And
You
I'm
don't
like,
get
what?
any
No.
shit going on
good.
here.
Oh, I talk about myself all the time on podcasts. You don't need to interview me.
You're just being a little imposter. You just don't want to toot your own horn.
True. I don't.
Okay. Well, let me toot your horn.
Whoa.
Can I buy you some tots and toot your horn?
Oh, okay. If you bring tots,
Yeah.
then we'll
You'll let
we'll
me
talk.
toot.
Yeah. You
Then
can
we'll
toot.
talk.
Well, you can. I don't want to say you can toot because it might stink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to hear that
Right.
on this.
No.
You can honk, maybe. You can honk my horn.
Oh, give me your horns and I'll honk them.
I don't know what to
Wrong
say
choice
here.
of words
Yeah,
to use.
pass
in
your
front of
horns
Jenny.
over to Uncle Jenny and she'll honk the shit out of
That's
them.
enough, Uncle.
Okay, you pipe down, Uncle.
Oh my God, I fucking love that. Randy.
Shout out to Randy. Yeah.
Oh, Terry.
I still have those
Terry.
decals on my. Anyway.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's it.
You guys, this episode was so fun.
It was a good time.
good.
Like all the laughs. I
Yeah.
felt for a couple moments that there were going to be some tears, but
Some
they
domestic?
were some domestics.
See,
Yeah.
Lucy raised her fist how many times and you saw me flinch?
Multiple.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
time.
You know.
And I just sit here laughing.
Yeah, and I just rock.
She's about to beat her.
Hey, Jenny got beat again. You think
We
she'd
all-
learned
we-
by now? This hurts her more than me. Right?
We do talk a lot about how
We talk a lot about Lucy.
Lucy's the boss.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's the boss. But you can see why too. She's got her head on.
I'm a strong, independent
I'd like to see you
woman.
got your head on straight, but that's not really the case.
Funny.
Gaily forward. She's got her head on right.
I'm just a strong.
Don't look at your
independent woman. Well, I just wondered why.
Who else is messaging you right now that's more important?
TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. Well, let's do a reel.
We should do a reel.
We should.
I'm
Okay.
hungry.
Well, let's put an end to this.
Okay.
I didn't have a really creative way of saying that, so it just
Yeah.
came out the way it did.
Full
Finished.
stop.
Period.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Girls,
Anytime.
ladies, women, whatever.
God, you just offended me.
Oh, I'm so
Jesus.
offended. Okay.
Thank you. Fun. Gays, actually, I prefer. Thanks, gays.
I'm not going to say thanks.
Why not? It's like the one
What?
time in your life that you could be like, thanks, gays.
Okay, thanks, gays.
Thanks, gays.
Stay hip.
You're welcome, straight.
Over and out.
Bye.